Hey, theology nerds. Welcome to episode 2 of the Theology Nerd Take. We're a week into Advent, which is a time when we're supposed to be anticipating and getting ready for Christmas. And it's a time when we focus on peace, right? But many of us don't feel all that peaceful. If you're where I am in the United States, many of us are, the general feeling is more like stress or anxiety. Anxiety over the economy, over politics, over what's it going to be like at Christmas dinner or lunch or, gatherings. What's the future going to hold? And so we tend to fall into cynicism and just sort of detach or expect the worst. And in this environment, we feel disconnected and abandoned sometimes, disconnected from the world, but even disconnected from God, like God's distance and just sort of watching everything from afar. But if you're following the Christian story, the answer to these feelings that we're going through is the entire point of Christmas, which is what we're leading to, right? The incarnation. The incarnation might just be one of the most theologically powerful and radical ideas in the entire theological universe of Christianity. God didn't just send a message or a divine memo. God showed up, presence. The name given to this miracle of presence is Emmanuel, which we hear a lot during Advent, meaning, of course, God with us. And think about the sheer audacity of it. God's special messenger of love and justice wasn't born in a palace to seize power or take over or something like that. He was born in the mud and the straw, right in a stable to poor refugee parents. And let's remember that this time of year, because the point isn't to exercise power over us, over humanity. It was to demonstrate God's proximity to us, how close God is, as near as our very breath. God chose to enter into the messiness and the chaos, the stress and the uncertainty, all of it, right where humanity is, right where we are. And to show us that, if God is even there, then God is in our lives, even in the worst times. So this Advent, I hope we're not despairing, right? That we're not going into cynicism. Because the incarnation in Jesus and in our own lives calls us to lean into that hope of Emmanuel. If God shows up for us, then we can show up for each other. And that's the real strength that we need right now. And that's the true significance of Advent. And that's the Theology Nerd Take today. See you next time.